Hi, everyone. I'm going to talk to you today about different nutrition plans and ways of eating. I ask you to stay open minded when it comes to different nutrition plans and try to find what works for you. Experiment. We all have different food preferences, we all have food sensitivities, and some of us have food allergies. So we have to take that into consideration as well. And yeah, so just don't be dogmatic in your eating plan. Be open to trying new things. And our bodies change over time. So what worked for us, when we were younger in our 20s, may not work for us in our 40s, which I definitely can vouch for. So I want to talk to you first about vegetarianism. So being a vegetarian means that you're eating mostly plant-based. Vegetarians still add some dairy and eggs, or most people do, and just avoid eating anything else as far as animal foods. You can be completely vegan, and some people do well on a completely plant-based diet. I don't recommend that for children or anyone that's in their childbearing years, just because it's really hard to get enough high quality protein into your diet to for growing, and especially for growing a baby. And you also need lots of healthy fats for hormones. So veganism is not something that I would recommend. If you are older, past your childbearing years, and you do want to be vegan, just be very aware that you need to supplement with B12 and have your iron checked, and make sure that you're getting a lot of protein at every meal. You need about 20 to 30 grams of protein at each meal to stimulate protein synthesis. If you're doing a completely plant-based protein, then you would likely want to add some BCAAs, especially leucine, to assist in that process. So that's, yeah, so plant-based works for some people, but not everyone. And then we've got the Mediterranean diet, which has been plugged a lot as a very healthy diet. This is a diet of whole foods, and that's something that I think is really important. Stay away from those processed foods, no matter what nutrition plan you're following. So, eating a lot of whole foods, fruits, and vegetables. The Mediterranean diet focuses a lot on fish and poultry, fresh meats, and lots of olive oil and different fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, as well as some legumes and whole grains. So that's a diet that can work well for many people, and it's been deemed a heart healthy diet. Then there's your paleo diet. So paleo diet is similar to Mediterranean diet, but a Paleolithic diet is looking at pre-agriculture way of eating, so avoiding grains. So you're not going to be eating breads. So avoiding those whole grains and legumes. You say you're not going to be eating a lot of beans and breads and quinoa, those types of things in the paleo diet. You're going to focus more on fruits and vegetables and your meat. Nuts and seeds are included in the paleo diet. And then we have the ketogenic diet, which has been very popular. So the ketogenic diet is when you're eating very low carbohydrates, and you're forcing your body to go into ketosis. So ketosis is when you're producing ketones, and you're teaching your body to burn fat for fuel rather than seeking out glucose or carbohydrates for fuel. So the ketogenic diet has been really popular because it helps people to burn fat, and it's great for losing weight. It's also great for people that have any kind of epilepsy, seizures, any kind of mood disorders, depression, anxiety. It's been really shown to be really well for the brain. Other people that have tried the ketogenic diet have done it because they've heard that it's good for reversing type 2 diabetes or preventing cancer or other health issues. So they're doing lots of studies on this. There's nothing conclusive yet about the keto diet, but there is some exciting literature out there pointing towards that direction. It was originally created for children that didn't respond to anti-seizure medication. And so the ketogenic diet can be done differently. It can be done with whole foods, and that's the way I would recommend, is that you're following a whole food diet and staying away from processed foods. So there's a lot of keto snacks out there now, keto bars and keto ice creams, and those are okay for the occasional treat. There's a better option than some of your high sugary processed treats. But you don't want to be eating these on a daily basis. You want to be eating lots of healthy vegetables and healthy fats and lean proteins, or fatty proteins, sorry, not lean proteins. You can have some lean proteins, but fatty proteins like chicken with the skin on, fatty cuts of beef, salmon is great, lots of omega-3s. The ketogenic diet, you're going to be able to have some nuts, but just be aware that you don't want to be eating too many nuts. They can actually cause problems for some people in their digestion. So I personally avoid nuts. If I'm going to use a milk substitute, I'll use coconut milk rather than the cashew or the almond milk. And so there's also lazy keto that people say, and that's more like lazy or dirty keto, and that's incorporating more of those processed keto snacks into their diet. If you're going to do a ketogenic diet, I recommend doing a whole foods ketogenic diet. So eggs and meat and fish and healthy low carb vegetables, and you can have a bit of berries and a little bit of nuts in there. Right, and then there's the carnivore diet, which I mostly follow. So the carnivore diet is all animal-based foods, and you can do this diet if you're looking to figure out what's going on with your health. If you have some health issues and you've tried every other type of way of eating and nothing's really helping, the carnivore diet can be a great elimination diet. So you're going to get rid of a lot of the keto snacks and sweeteners. So on the carnivore diet, you're going to get rid of any diet sodas that you might be drinking, any stevia that you might be putting in your coffee. You're going to eliminate all plant foods, so no almond milk, no coconut milk. You're going to stick with all animal foods. So that means butter and dairy, unless you can't tolerate dairy, which a lot of us can't. Even if you can't tolerate dairy, a lot of people can still tolerate butter or ghee, because it's like there's not much of the dairy protein in that. It's mostly fat. So you're going to have any kind of chicken, fish, seafood, beef, pork, lamb, veal, anything from the animal kingdom, basically you can eat on the carnivore diet. And as you can see, it is quite a strict elimination diet, but it can help if you do the carnivore diet for a good 30 days. It can help you to see whether something in your diet was causing you some symptoms, and you could start after the 30 or maybe even 60 days for some people. So 30 to 60 days on the carnivore diet, then add one thing back at a time to see whether your body reacts to it. Plants have a lot of different toxins in them, which I will do another video about that. But sometimes it's a toxin in the plants, such as oxalate, that's causing, could be like arthritis symptoms, aches and pains, rashes, bloating, diarrhea, constipation. There's so many different symptoms we could be having, and we just don't understand what it's being caused from. Dairy causes a lot of bloating for people. Sometimes Eggs can be a problem for certain people too. So there are people that have gone to strict meat and water only just to try to figure out what is going on with them. So those are the main styles of eating, other than the standard American diet or the SAD diet. And the SAD diet just incorporates kind of anything, everything and anything goes, including processed food. So the further we can get away from the standard American diet, the better. Eating more whole foods, avoiding sugar. Sweeteners aren't the greatest, but if you need to use them just until you can get off of the sugar, they can be helpful in that situation. All right, so if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email at lowcarbgrandma@gmail.com. All right, have a great day, everyone. Thanks.